Hello. Basically, I was trying to edit some videos because I have been trying to do stuff, some sewing projects. And I couldn't help but notice after a certain point that, um, I wore the clothes that I wear at home, which are very simple and not very cute or aesthetic. I mean, sure, it's comfortable, and that's always my first point. However, basically, I was thinking about some of the projects that I had, as well as looking at some of the fabrics that I have. And I decided to kind of combine two things together. I've been thinking about working on doing a coat. I did a jacket, a sort of vest thing already. And this time I want to do something, long. But I'm not thinking about using or making something for going outside. AKA, this is not something that is meant to, go through life outside of the house. It is more like a house coat, if you wish. And by my calculations, I have enough fabric to do so. Now, before I actually filmed this, because I wasn't sure if I was going to do it, I actually had a piece of fabric that is, how to explain? I don't know if you can see it. It's cotton, but it is woven in a certain way that's very thick. It's slightly like jeans, kind of, but it's not proper jean fabric. Point being that it's a very nice fabric, and I had some pieces, and I had done, because in the original coat that I had in mind, I want to use those two as front panels. However, the color that they were, I wasn't too fond of it, so I painted them full black, and this is kind of the end result. You can see with the light that some of the designs are still there. The original color was mainly white, and these things were blue, kind of a navy blue. I'm not too fond of it. I wanted full black, so I painted it. And the pattern that I'm basing this on is of a dress. It's a dress that is very simply back, has three panels, so the front part, kind of the back, and then has two panels that go down all the way to the bottom. It touches the ground. Then you have the front panels that are just one long piece from here all the way down. And that's basically it. It's a very simple thing. However, of course, I'm gonna add the sleeves, which last time the sleeves I did was a very straight sleeve with a touch here because I had the extra fabric. This time I wanted to base mainly off the Victorian kind of aesthetic. So I wanted a puffy sleeve. I was able to find some patterns, kind of an idea of how to do it, and I'm basically using those. Hopefully it's not going to be terribly harsh. So it's basically a puffy sleeve, and then you have a straight moment in here, because at the end of the day I do like to see my hand basically. Now, in reality, there is a lot of fabric. It's all basically black. This is what I want. But the point is that I want to do this well. I want to do this even though it is made of more pieces than that I'm used to, as well as having the whole issue of the puffy sleeves that need a lot of control in order for it to look like a proper puffy sleeve. There's all of these details that I wanted to do because I want to step up my sewing game, and also because I really want this sort of coat, to be kind of the one for when I'm doing things and I can film and it looks very nice. So yeah, there's a lot of fabric to sew. I'm not going to give myself a time. I want to base this on how I'm feeling like. If I take out the sewing machine and I feeling like I could do some, especially some of the long attachments, sure. If not, then that's it. I'm not going to rush it this time, but I will try to film as much as I can and explain to you kind of the pattern, so maybe you want to have it at the end. I don't know. Anyway, let's go. Okay, so similarly to the jacket I made, I want to do also the inner part. Also because this fabric, the one I'm using, as you can see, is very light, so I want to do the double layered, so it's at least a little bit more, strong. This is the inner part, which again is made out of the upper top button, basically this side, then down all the way, and the front panels. Let me put it on so you can see. Once again, I apologize, black over black might not be the best way to explain it, but This is a very basic idea. I really like this pattern because you see, even now without the sleeves, it looks really cool and it reaches all the way to the down part. It is also very, I think it's very nice. You see, you can, if you wish, you can strap it a little bit more, but at the same time, you can just leave it as it is. I'm not planning on doing buttons or any zipper. I want it to be open. However, I do want it to put sort of a belt in here. However, I'm not certain how it's going to go. Like if I do like a back thing or if I do something in the front. I'm not certain about it, but I do would like to cinch the waist a bit, mainly because I like that. Now this is the sleeve, which is the fun part because it is a very big sleeve, both down and up. Basically, if you're not, you don't have an idea of a sleeve in mind, you usually have this, it's kind of straight. Now, this part here that unites the sleeve with the torso, it's not exactly straight. It moves in a sort of circular oval kind of way. And the idea is that you add a bit more fabric to the sleeve, not the torso, in order to then pinch it and do more of a puffy thing. Similar to the downside, aka instead of leaving just this, you do a little bit bigger circle, and then when you connect it with the other piece, you again do the folding, which makes it like puffy. Now I haven't sewed this. I wanted to sew by machine this seam, which is basically this one. But let's imagine it is sewed in. Now as you can see, this part is attached down here and this one in here. You have all of this extra fabric that then should go like puffy, and then this part is also going to go all puffy. And then I'm going to add another part, which is this kind of um, straight up, just simple moment in here, just because I want this part to be puffy and like big. The sleeve completely looks like this. I fold it because it's kind of a big piece, but that's kind of the idea. And yeah, like I said, I'm going to try to film some of this, mainly to explain how I'm doing it. However, this is something that I also want to do in a very chill way, so we'll see. Okay, I'm gonna try to explain this. So, I did the straight part in here. However, because I'm going to do the inside part as well, I decided to, some of the pieces I can already sew together because it's just easier, also because the machine does a stitch that is stronger and I needed to hold. So it is both the outside part, outside in, and also the inner side part, it's also outside in. So they're always touching, while I'm sewing, the part that goes outside and the part that touches my skin, it's touching. And I need to sew it. Here I already did it. So then when I double it out, it should be the right side. I'm gonna try and do it again and see if I can explain myself. So this is the out part. This is the fabric that has kind of the motif. This is a nice part that I want to show. And here I have it upside out. So you see the stitching here. It's a bit messy. Let's look at that. Now I'm taking the inner part and I'm going to put it inside it, but I'm going to put it as it is. I left this with white mainly because I really wanted to show it as well. So this goes like cone shape if you wish. So I put in this part right inside it so they touch. I also like to put the sewing line with the sewing line, and when I do it the machine I like to pass a couple of times because this is the sewn that really I want to hold very very stiffly, in the sense that I want it to be attached as it should be. As you can see, when we open it we have to see both seams. So we see
the seam of the inner fabric and we see the seam of the outer fabric, and this is kind of the position in which I'm going to place them. That I basically try to cut them in the most similar pieces as possible in order to, avoid any extra fabric issues. So now I'm going to sew here. I'm going to first do one around there, and then I'm going to go another one slightly further away. This mainly because I'm not certain of the length, and this is the this part of the sleeve basically. So I'm going to do two just to kind of have it put together, and also, because it makes me feel more secure, I guess.
Hello! It's been a while. I took with this project a lot of time. I was very chill with that, but it is done. I mean, I say it is done. However, one of the fun things, I guess, about doing something that is for the house, basically, I don't have to worry of going outside, is that I can always change it. Like if there's something I want to add or maybe change, I can do that, and I don't have that kind of inside worry of, oh my god, it's going to get ruined. But anyway, let's present her with you, the house code. Da 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 da. Look at it! It is so long and it's all black. Okay, so first thing first, it is a bit heavy, I'm not gonna lie. However, I don't mind it because this is mainly for being inside the house, and this house actually tends to be a little bit cold. So even now that we're during the springtime, if you're like not moving too much, you kind of feel a bit of the chill. So this is enough protection, but at the same time, during the winter time, I can still put something down, or even, like a scarf or something else. So I think it's great, in this country it's called dressing like onions basically. So you wear layers, and this is something that I actually made, and like the measurements, I made thinking about the possibility of putting something down as well as putting something over it. But let's stop the talking, let's put her on. Now, I'm not gonna lie, it's not perfect. I guess that is something that I like to say and point out, not just for the world, but for myself, is that it doesn't have to be perfect. At the end of the day, it's just a project, it is just a fun thing to do, and oh my god, I love it so much. Okay, let's go from the start. As you can see, we have some extra fabric here. And what I love about it is that, again, if it's kind of really cold, I can close it. But even like this is not crazy open. Like I still can get air, but at the same time protection. So I really like that. I am very happy with the sleeves. I think this was one of the parts that I was more afraid of. Because, this is a sleeve that is puffy, but it's not just about the fabric going everywhere. I had to think about it quite well. And because it has the inner part, I needed to, do something well done, otherwise it would look not that great. So I'm really, really happy with it. And I really enjoy this piece actually. I'm very happy that I actually added this long piece, because actually when I'm doing something, the puffy sleeve would get very annoying and on the way. However, this allows for enough space to kind of do stuff, movement of the hand, and I can see. So for that, it is great. So, I mean, we're loving it and we're just in here. Like I said, I did a fold basically, and I sewed in some pieces, like here and here. Mainly because, I don't know, I like the idea of the fold that you can see and that it is there. I never thought about closing this all the way anyway, but it can kind of overlap a little bit. And on that note, I have this belt. It used to be kind of a beige color, but I painted it black. And this is not a belt that is meant to actually hold anything. To be honest, the purpose of the belt, it's just to kind of close the coat. I mean, I can cinch my waist a little bit more, and if I put on my corset, I'm pretty sure I can give Victorian. But
You know, it's generally just so it kind of maintains the coat close. It is fun to move. It's not like, you know, making me annoyed or anything. I actually am very happy, and I'm mainly happy because, as you can see, I saw these for the belt, and I was actually kind of worried because I was very insecure where to put it, because it's a bit too low, then it would arrive to the hips, and it's a bit too high, it would arrive here to the kind of on the boob. It had to be on the, you know, on the waist. And I don't know how I made it happen, but it is on the waist. This is my waist. And yes, I'm basically just looking at the screen on the phone. So if I'm not looking at the camera as I should, don't mind me. I'm just trying to admire my work. Now, let me put down the phone so you can see the down part. Okie dokie. So, yeah, I know, black on black, not the greatest, but I think you can see it quite well, how we go all the way down, but it is not annoyingly down, aka it is touching, as you can see. If I do tiptoe, you can see that it is enough to touch it, but it's not enough to be like annoying. Like, I can move. Can you see? I'm moving. Let's turn. I'm moving. I really like the fact that it opens. That was something that I really wanted to. I didn't want the like straight thing. I do wanted this kind of opened bell, I don't know, whatever opening. Now, for the actual moment of wow, this is the moment when my brain actually goes, you did something. Yes, sir. It's that maybe you didn't see it, but I'll show you. Where did my hands go? Yes, sir, in the pockets. I mean, come on. I made pockets. You know how amazing that is in my coat. I am so happy, like, and you can see how my whole hand goes in. So you know you can put a phone in here, whatever you need that is, you know, big, you can put it here. Let's go back to my face. Okay. I actually am very happy with the pockets. That was a very last minute thing. I was thinking about it, but I was like, well, I should do the security thing that you do. It should be a strong fabric, like a strong stitch. How big it's going to be, maybe it's going to do the bulky thing. But I am extremely happy about it. Not only because it actually hides decently enough, like I'm not terribly angry if it shows, but it's not something that is completely in the open. Like it doesn't ruin the form of the coat. But at the same time, I'm telling you, it is big enough to put something in here. Again, this is not a coat to go outside, so I'm not preoccupied of this surviving the outside world. But for me personally, as you know, one of the first pockets that I'm making from scratch in a whole coat made from scratch, I'm really happy. Once again, I am very happy with this project for various reasons, not only because I'm able to try something particular that I perhaps wouldn't do for something to actually go outside. So I'm safe basically in doing it at home, but at the same time it's something that I want to wear and that I would enjoy very much wearing inside the house. And at the same time, I am not doing this halfway. I genuinely try to do this the best way that I could to kind of make the closing things well thought out. It wasn't something that I used to tend to do, which was being like, oh, it's just a try it out, or I'm not going to go outside with it, so whatever. No, I genuinely tried to do this the best way that I could, and I'm very happy to what I did. Again, it's a perfect no. No, it's not. But I honestly, I really enjoy it. I think it's very nice. It fits. So that's good. It's all black, which of course makes me very happy. And yeah, it was a nice experience also because, like I said, I didn't push myself to finish it up to a certain point. I was like, whenever I can, whenever I'm feeling like it, I'm going to, you know, do the project little bit after a little bit. Also, I had to wait for doing the bell because, you know, I'm not going to
use a whole thing of coloring thing for one belt, so I had to find other things. But I also think that in this case the color was taken very, very well. This was beige, but I really, really like the color that it remained. It's in my waist, so that's lovely. It's genuinely very comfortable and it keeps everything together. So I'm happy, I guess. I'm just trying to say various ways of saying I'm happy. And with this, I'm very much ready to do all the projects. So if you see me wearing this, you know it's project time. And if you see me wearing this in other places, I don't care. I'm wearing this because I made it and I'm happy with it. Anyway, like those TikTok videos say, this is your sign to do the project you want. Even if it's just a simple project for the house, for you being at home, go off. This is your sign to try that project. Yay! Is this how they do it? Am I too old? And with the puffy sleeve.